It's streaming. Now it is.
We live. We live.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, life, everything, wealth, abundance.
Nina, do you want to introduce who we got on the screen with us?
So I sure will. So today we have with us the Rhinestone Cowboy, Mr. Jonathan, Mr. Jonathan Bryant, out of Texas, you guys, who is a wealth strategist and leader developer. And then we have the one and only, all the way from Houston, Texas, Stanisha Graham, the mindset master, one of the youngest, most wisest people that I know, who has a heart of gold and has kind of shifted from looking at only comp plans to actually leading a Patch 1 million mission and movement, because we found something that is changing people's quality of life, their dignity, their independence, and their freedom, both physically and financially. And then I am Nina Moore, your wellness queen, and we're so excited to be here with you today. You need to tag and share this live. We're not going to get started until we got at least 35, 40 people on here. So we can't give you the goods. We got something good to tell them, but we can't tell them until they get at least 35, 40 people on here. So they got to tag and
Absolutely.
share.
All right. So listen, I'm obviously super excited to be chatting with you guys. Nina is a queen in her own right. I know you just got off of hosting a huge Zoom call with over 400 people on it. But we're on here to talk about Super Patch and what an amazing opportunity that this is. And, you know, we've been talking about our run to 1,000 ambassadors in the month of October. Jonathan, how many ambassadors have we brought in? It's the 8th. How many ambassadors have we brought in this month?
So far, according to my records and my numbers, right now we're sitting at almost 500 new associates over the past 3 days.
500. Somebody say 500 new associates.
Wait,
Nina, what cities have you launched over the last 2-3 days?
So we've launched Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, Wisconsin, Memphis, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and I don't even know some of the other places. I'm still waiting for people to respond.
Yeah. So guys, as you can see, that the Patch 1 million and 1,000 ambassador run is going exactly how we planned it. We knew it would go like that because it's such an amazing opportunity. We have the opportunity to really help people. And that is what we're so passionate about. You know, I've had conversations with Jonathan and Nina about this, that the people who are going to do the best with this Super Patch opportunity are the people who care about people. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Jonathan, and then to Nina. What made you say yes to the Super Patch movement?
You know, I'm just like both of you. You know, we've been in this industry for so long. We've experienced some extremely highs and in some extremely lows. And one thing that I know, just like both of you, that we have servant driven hearts. That when we get passionate about something that we know can help impact not just one person, not just tens, but thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, that motivates us and inspires us. And so the reason why I locked arms with this incredible company is because my background has been in health and nutrition. And so most people know that if I put my name and my credibility, my character, my values behind something, then it's got to work, right? This isn't my first rodeo, no pun intended, but I've been in the industry long enough that if I put my name behind a pill or a shake or a potion or a lotion, it's going to yield results for the masses. And so when this was brought to me, to my desk, the first thing that stood out to me, Sanisha and Nina, same thing, is there wasn't any ingredients, no chemicals, no contraindications, no side effects. And so that definitely piqued my curiosity. And then the moment that I guess you could say my epiphany, my aha moment, is when my daughter, who just had her baby, so my grandbaby, sweet Hadley Hayes, came to me and asked for more peace patches that I had no idea that she was even using this super patch at that time. And she said, Dad, just my quality of life, my mental health, my focus, and my peace that's come over me since I've been able to utilize these patches. I need more. I'm out. And so at that moment, it all sort of made sense. And so even though I didn't understand how haptic vibro tactile technology works, and I still don't, I got on the phone with Jay Dollywall, and since then, we have just hit the ground running, and we have impacted and helped change so many different people's lives and quality of life. And Nina says this, and I don't want to take away from what she's going to be sharing, but the one thing that really stands out is dignity, dignity and pride of being able to have a better quality of life. And what I mean is being able to bend over because your range of mobility is better and tie your own shoes, being able to go to the bathroom without assistance, being able to sleep through the entire night, and of course, living more of a pain-free life. And so we've locked onto this mission and vision of helping to patch 1 million people. And we know as soon as that happens, ladies, we're not going to stop there. We're going
That's
to
right.
keep going. So that's why I'm here, to help change and impact the world with a chemical and ingredient free product.
I love it. Nina, what about you?
I said I was never going to do this again. I swore to you that I wasn't going to do it again. I was adamant about not doing this again. But the part of me that loves helping people, once I began to see the results that we are getting from all the testimonies from the real customers that are going to the system, I made the decision based on a result that Ashley Valdez got. Even though you had called me, you kept saying, Nina, you really need to do this. I was impressed with the fact that you were so driven with the product, which I had never seen you been driven by a product ever before in my life. You are a 100% compensation person. Show me the money. You will build a system and a strategy that leads people directly to the money. But you kept calling me about the product, which was more intriguing to me than any video, than any testimony. I said, I must really need to look at what you're talking about. But then when I gave the product to especially Ashley Valdez, and although I'm not going to make a medical claim, but she has, twin boys, 2 sets of twin boys, and her older set of twin boys, one of them had begun to exhibit aggressive behaviors, and they are level 3 autistic, ADHD, IDD, nonverbal. And then Jonathan had that, fall, he hit his head. They gave him adult seizure medication that made his behavior worse. And all I can say is the doctors have notated it in his records now that he's no longer on any medication. They're beginning to speak, they're writing, they're cutting, they're doing all of the things. But even more than that, beyond when you say dignity, Jonathan, I'm a mom, and I can only imagine not being able to hear my child's voice say mom or I love you. I can only imagine as a mom, as a parent, not being able to help my child because I can't even understand them. They can't communicate with me what's going on, And so that was the thing that shifted and opened my mindset up. But now I am literally just chasing the stories. I've never, ever, I didn't even look at the comp plan for probably the first 60 days or so, because this wasn't about a comp plan drive. The money is coming by default, and the money is real good. Let me say that, because the money is real good. It had to make sense. But beyond that, quality of life, when I'm watching gentlemen, men, get up and be able to take themselves to the bathroom, get up out of the bed, wipe themselves, women that are able to change themselves, shower, walk around now, put their own bras on, things like that, giving them the normalcy back to their life, normalcy. That is so important to me. And watching people smile, a real smile, Stanisha and
Right.
Jonathan, it is not like that fake smile where they're just kind of showing up. I watched a woman cried in our meeting, the whole meeting on Sunday in Jonesboro, because she had shakes her leg. When she sits there, her leg just does like this, right? It won't stop. We put the patches on her and her leg immediately stopped. She cried the entire meeting. And she had to keep getting up, walking around. She couldn't believe what was happening. So I just want people to feel that all around the world. And I want people to see what we see, feel what we feel, so that they can dominate their city.
I love it. And I truly do believe we're about to jump into some testimonies, but one of my favorite sayings that I like to say is that, all of our best days are still ahead of us. And so many people after a certain age thinks that life is supposed to decline after a certain age. But I truly do believe that you can be exposed to something that your latter days, as the Bible would say, will be greater than your former days. And so those are the type of the fact that we have something that give people their quality of life back, guys, if you're listening to this, what I want you to remember is that you don't have to die, right? Most people are just sitting around waiting to die. They've lost their quality of life. They don't have their strength. They can't walk on their own, or they can't walk at all. What I want to challenge you to do when it comes to these patches is to believe that your best days are ahead of you. So what I'm going to do right now, we're going to look at a testimony, and then let's have some conversations about what it is that we are looking at. But we all know people like this. And so, we do strength tests and all that kind of stuff. You guys have probably had the strength test done on you, but you have no idea just how much these patches are changing people's life. So I'm going to play this testimony. If you
You walk
turn
without
the
your
phone
cane, right?
sideways, you'll be able to see that. So this is a guy got patched by one of our ambassadors, Sean Bale, out in Philly. Okay. So this guy
My
was
cousin
dealing
is
with
walking
some
without
back
his
pain and
cane
all kind of stuff. Watch what
with
happens after
the
Sean
Liberty
patched him.
patch on.
Just don't show my face.
And
I
a
got
lot
you.
of people say, please don't show my
You
face.
good. You good.
Okay.
They're embarrassed. They're
You walk
embarrassed.
without your cane, right?
Simply incredible.
All right.
My cousin is walking without his cane with the Liberty patch on.
Just don't show my face.
And I
I
saw
got you.
another video of this guy where
You
he
good.
had
You
some
good.
type of pain in the bottom of his back.
You walking
And
without your cane,
once
right?
Sean patched him, the results were like literally
Stress.
insane
Okay, go
from it.
ahead.
So
Okay, so
this lady here was
she's
dealing
giving
with
me right
sleep
now her
apnea.
testimony
Okay.
over a
And
sleep
Jonathan,
patch.
this was out in
Okay,
Dallas.
tell
I
us
don't
what
know if
happened.
you remember
So
this. I think
I
you're
was
actually
diagnosed with
recording
sleep
it, but listen to
apnea
her testimony.
10 years ago, and had been on a machine, and I do not like it. I felt exposed and whatever, and thanks to Adrian, I was able to. She introduced me to the RIM patch, the sleep patch. Within 2 nights, my husband was amazed because he said, "You don't put." He said, "You don't put breathing." Wow. He said, "You don't snore. You are sound asleep before I'm even asleep." Wow. And when I wake up, I know I get that first second. I have been missing for so long. Wow. That is so amazing. It's been a really tough journey for me because, I've always been scared that I'm never going to wake up. Right. And that I'm never going to get to see my grandchildren one day. Yeah. And so my husband was just absolutely amazed at how well these patches. He said, "Oh my gosh," he said, we got to do something. At least we got to spread the word." I said, "That's what I'm doing. Yes. I want to help people." Yes.
Let's talk about that real quick. So someone decided not to be selfish, heard about the RAM patch, decided to share it with people. And this lady is crying because she was on a sleep machine. And she said every time that she went to sleep, she was afraid that she wasn't going to wake up anymore. What type of testimony what's the craziest testimony that you guys have experienced with the super patch that just makes you super motivated to continue to share it? Jonathan, you could go first.
Just hearing that lady's conviction, and you're exactly right. The reason why we're in this, the reason why we do this is because somebody cared enough about somebody else to share this power of what these products, these patches can do. And so, like you said, the fact that somebody cared enough about this lady to give her a REM patch for her to have a better quality of sleep, and like she said, she was on a sleep machine, that she was worried about not waking up, that her quality of sleep, when she woke up, she didn't feel rested. To be able to give somebody back just a glimmer of hope.
That's
like you
right.
said, when we get to a certain age, we feel like this is what we accept
Right.
as our life. Like this is how we're supposed to feel, and it's okay because of how we've lived the previous parts of our life and what we've done to ourselves. So, there's so many testimonies that stand out and that really speak to me. Man, there's one. I was in St. George, Utah, doing an event, and this young lady who has a debilitating disease that she was diagnosed with. She was on a walker, and her trainer brought her to this meeting because she said, "You're not going to believe what this lady was able and capable of doing." Actually, she was her nail tech. Sorry, not even her trainer. She was her nail tech. So she was sitting down getting her nails done. And she said, "Hey, can I try something on you? Can I put a patch on you?" And so she put the Liberty patch on her hand while she was doing her nails. The lady got up. Again, she's on a walker, like one of those ones that you have to turn around and sit down on and get up and walk a little bit more, turn around, sit down. She got up from getting her nails done and started walking without her walker. And her nail tech was like so terrified that she was going to fall. And she is like, "I have not been able to walk unassisted in 5 years."
Wow.
So she brought her to that event, and the lady came up and she talked about this disease that was literally eating her muscles to where she's not able to walk, her hand movements, her arm movements, not able to help herself. And she came to that event, and right then up front, again, she didn't have a patch on so that she could show us. She put the patch on, set the walker aside, walked down the aisle, turned around and walked back, and she was in tears. And at that moment, she explained how much money she has to spend every single month for injections that she has to have to live a better quality of life, and said, "You know what? I know what I need to do. I need to sign up. I need to get these patches, but I can't afford it." And so right then in that moment, I was so convicted that I cannot let this lady leave without having patches. So I wound up getting her 6 months of patches, and I said, "Don't worry about the cost. Like what you just showed us and demonstrated is the life that you are destined and designed to have, and I don't want money to be an issue." And so she left there with 6 months worth of patches, and it was absolutely incredible. We were all crying and hugging, having happy tears. So that's one of the ones that stood out.
So this is a testimony from one of my friends. She's out in Atlanta, an ambassador in Atlanta. This is one of her teachers. And so one of the things that I heard when we were in Atlanta at Nina's meeting that she did was our friend was talking about the gait and how a lot of people got a little limp in they walk, or they lose. For women, that's a big deal, especially women when you have your heels on, you can't wear heels anymore. It just changes your quality of life when you've got physical issues. So I want you guys to hear this, and then
her balance. So I'm letting her read up on the Liberty patch, right, Miss Lindsay?
Yes.
And now I'm gonna patch her real quick. Give me your wrist, Miss Lindsay. I'm gonna patch her like
people
so.
are always so shocked how quick
Take it a little bit. Okay. She gonna tell me how her balance feels in a little bit. Ain't that right, Miss Lindsay?
Watch her response. Excuse her swear word, but she was just shocked. Watch this.
I love them.
Oh, that's so wild. Look. I ain't like wobbling, or you know what I'm saying? Look.
Look at her.
What the fuck is this? For real?
Yeah. It shows you how science basically, once it hits the skin, this is Braille, so it's nothing in it but the print on it. Okay.
Wait a minute,
it's going to connect to your brain. It's
What
going to
is
stimulate
it?
that part of your brain.
Oh my God.
Science working with touch to the skin.
You see that? You see this?
Yeah.
How
That's
long am I supposed
Liberty.
to wear it for?
24 hours. You can keep it for 24 hours.
And then take it off?
Yep.
And then what? Put this
If you
one
want
on?
to put another one on you. Ms. Lynn.
So, I mean, there is no amount of money when you get a response like that.
I just had a lady do that. She's 26 years old. She's a professional MMA fighter, trains at the UFC training grounds in Las Vegas, Nevada. She's had 7 pro fights, and I did the balance test on her. And she's stocky. She's built, of course. She trains all the time. And she said the exact same words that lady did. She said, "What in the is in this?" She was just absolutely mind blown. And it's It never ceases to amaze me how quickly it works. Like you said,
It's
within
amazing.
5 seconds of putting that patch on.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
Nina, what is the craziest testimony that you've seen so far that just like motivated you even more?
There's really too many to pick from. I could, there's just way too many. But I will tell you this. On Sunday, we had a little boy, I'm fighting tears, who was brought in to get patched. And he was brought in to get patched because he's been labeled in school to the point where the teachers don't really want him in the class because he's not the brightest of students. He's not able to pay attention. He's having some struggles. And his mom sat in the car, but sent him in with his auntie. And the auntie brought him up to the front of the room and said, can you patch him? His mom wants him to get patched. She just wants to see, he's normally very, very hyper. And before I could even put a patch on him, y'all, I looked him dead in the eyes. He would not look me in the eyes, though, because of what he's dealing with. He couldn't look me in the eye. He was looking at me, but his eyes were that way, right? And I said, I want you to hear me good. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I started reminding him of how perfect he was and how God made him perfect. And I don't care what anybody says about him, that he was fearfully and wonderfully made. And literally there was no dry eyes in the room. I put the patches on him. I put a Liberty patch on his back. I put a peace patch on him and a focus patch. And immediately he started making eye contact with me. Immediately he started talking. He then went and sat down with his auntie. It made the mom come into the meeting. He went and sat down with his auntie and laid in her lap and went to sleep and did not give us one problem the entire meeting. Not one. You are muted.
What patch was that you put on him?
I put on a Liberty patch because I wanted to bring his body into total homeostasis, give him total balance.
Yeah.
I put the peace patch on him to kind of keep him calm and take his nerves down. And then I put the focus patch on him so that he could focus on me and what I was saying. And like that, it was just like that, like how fast I'm snapping my fingers. Immediately, he started talking to us. He made eye contact with me. And then, like I said, went and sat down and then went to sleep for the rest of the meeting.
I love it. This guy right here is a professional personal trainer. He has a gym here in Houston. He actually just flew out to Tokyo a few months ago to compete in a bodybuilding competition. So I want y'all to see his response to the patch. And don't let me pull you down. Okay, don't let me pull you down. Okay, don't let me. Don't let me. Okay, just watch how the patch works for them. Okay, okay. Obviously, go like this. So I have a tie in your hand. Don't let me open your hand up. Don't let me. Y'all are watching it. Turn your phone sideways. Don't let me open it. Okay. Okay. So we spent $25 million on R&D. This is based out of Canada. Guys named Jake for $300 million. His mom called MS. He was trying to figure out how they can make you stronger, balanced, and more mobile instantly. So when I put this on you, okay, I'm gonna pull you the same way. Okay, I'll pull you the same way. Go like this. Go back. Don't let me pull you. And it was. Look at it. Brace me. Don't let me pull you. I can pull you the same way. Don't listen to me. You feel that? Don't let. Go back. Go like this. Don't let me open your fingers. Yes. Immediately. There's nothing in here. It's sending a signal to your brain. Let me show you something. Look, I've spent a lot of money on. I've sold a lot of product in my lifetime, but when you have a product, when we talk about for people who can't sell well, if you have a product like this and the result is instant, you don't need to know how to sell. You just need to patch people, okay? You just need to patch people. What is you guys' take on, you obviously all of us have done tons of sales. What's your take on the experience that you have with this patch? Like, how could you not be successful with it? How could you not? That's really my question.
The only way a person is not successful with this is that they're selfish. That's literally the only way. Well, two things: selfish, and you're operating off your ego. Because ego is going to keep you broke, and that's selfish. Like, how dare we not want to help somebody else? Once you know that there's a better way, and once you know that you could put a patch on somebody and there be an immediate result. I've heard all my life and all my career in sales. I'm a former hairstylist, 27 years. I was selling my time and services and skill set, as a cosmetologist. And so it just shifted industries. But I spent a lot of time like hard selling people, convincing them you need to lose the weight that you say you need to lose, and all of those things. And I've heard people say, well, the product will sell itself. Well, that's actually a lie. That's actually a lie. But this product sells itself because once I put it on you, you can't deny. You can't even deny. Like we talked about what we were talking about before we got on here with the little boy who was 10 years old who was in a car accident, and he has total paralysis, who couldn't feel anything. And then he felt sensations. No one can deny that he couldn't feel anything, and now he's feeling sensations in his leg. That's how the product sells itself. We can't hear you, Tanisha.
My bad. This lady here, she was getting ready to speak at an event. Her knee was in excruciating pain. She literally was bugging out. She actually fell during the event. So she comes out to the table saying how her knee and all of that stuff is bothering her. We put her on the Freedom patch and we put her on the Liberty patch. And so you can see she was kind of amazed at what was going on. Pay attention.
Like, y'all play too much, for real.
No, for real. Do you notice something different?
I do.
I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying to you. Like, okay.
And it's nothing in there. So, for instance, you say you're a cancer survivor.
It's triple negative breast cancer, and that's what it is.
Okay, I'll be ready.
That's what makes
So
it
the thing about
more
this, you have
serious
no
for me.
worries about cancer and that, because there's nothing in it. The only thing that is making that work, each one of these patches have a different pattern on it. So what we
It's like a thumbprint.
yes, because the skin is the largest organ in the body. So since the skin is the largest organ that you have, we spent $25 million to see how the skin responds.
All right, so it's this one. Check out the two. Jonathan, I'll let you talk about this after. So this guy
Holy moly.
was stuck in his wheelchair.
Holy moly.
What exactly? Before I even play this, Jonathan, tell us what's going on here. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so this young man, JJ is what they call him, and the lady in the video that helped introduced him to these incredible patches is named Pitter. And basically, he was diagnosed at a very young age with a debilitating muscle disease that left him wheelchair bound. And he even has his wheelchair in the back of that pickup. And so he came over, and Peter couldn't help but introduce him to this patch. And within 20 minutes, he was sitting in his pickup about to leave. And he's like, you know what? I want to get out and walk. And everybody was just like, what? And he's like, yeah, I want to get out and I want to walk. He said, I feel superhuman. And so he got out, and this is him walking around his pickup. Of course, you don't see the wheelchair, walking around the pickup, and everybody was kind of panicked.
You can keep talking. I just want them to see it while you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so he gets out, and as you can see, the start of the video, whenever they started doing the balance and string test on him, like Sanisha was talking about his gait, and what that means is whenever he was walking initially before the patch, he would swing his legs out in a wider stance in order to feel more stable. And here you can see he's putting one foot in front of the other because he has a tighter gait, because he feels more confident in his ability to be able to walk unassisted. And in fact, when he got out, he had two gentlemen, one on each arm, helping him before he was patched. And so here he's excited. He feels incredible. Again, dignity, right? To be able to get out of his pickup and to walk around without his wheelchair, without assistance, without somebody else holding on to him. It gives him a complete new take and sense on life with his quality of life.
I love it. So I brought somebody else to the line. Nina and Jonathan, if you guys have someone, share the studio link with them, please. I want to get a few more people on this broadcast with us. The same link that I sent to you, send it to one or two people who you know could jump on. We can have at least 10 guests on here. Rosalind, what's going on? This is
Hey
our
guys.
out of South Carolina. Tell us why you said yes to the Super Patch opportunity and what it's done for you.
You know I didn't want to say yes to begin with.
Right.
I saw this video of a lady walking up some stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at her looking all crippled. I'm serious. She's walking up the stairs crippled like I do. And then she comes back down the stairs and somebody put this patch on her and she goes up the stairs like nothing was ever wrong. And I was like, nah. I watched it again. I think I watched that video probably about 7 or 8 times because I wanted to make sure. So I was like, okay. And I called you back and I was like, okay. All right. And you know, I kept asking you about all these different things, like because we're always, and hey y'all, we have been in the product industry so long. We are always looking for an ingredient to do something,
right,
to make a difference in our life. And you were like, Rosalind, there's no ingredients. So I'm like, okay. I said, well, from what I see, I think I'll be able to walk again. And we just been running ever since.
I love it. Yeah, I remember when the patches first came to your house, we had you go up and down the stairs as well. And so everyone, when they experience it, they're like, what in the world is going on here? But that is the power of the patch. I want to share this testimony. We were out in Is it Greenville? Where were we at?
It's Greenville.
Yeah, we were there. And this lady here, this was absolutely insane. Look at this video, guys.
This is a miracle for me.
Why are you crying though?
Because I feel a whole lot better. That's why.
So this lady was about to have spinal cord surgery. And once we patched her, the results were like absolutely insane immediately. And if you guys are watching, if you turn your camera sideways, you'll be able to see it better. And she's crying. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, is this a scam? Like, guys, we don't have enough time or money to pay this many actors, okay? When you've got this many people crying, when you've got this many people, my sister, I shared this testimony already. My sister literally, her coworker and her, they were going to he was going to get like part of his, and where did y'all go? Okay, there you go. Let me see what I got going on here. My thing is messing up. Let me see. Okay, I got you. They were going to he was going to have to, okay, StreamYard has also okay. They were going to have to do surgery, burn like the tip of his spinal cord or some crazy stuff like that. And my sister had the patches and she patched him and he canceled his spinal cord surgery. Like, guys, you cannot make those type of things up. Like, I don't have enough money or whatever to have this many different testimonies. And so I see we got Sean on the line. I'm trying to see why my StreamYard is bugging out all of a sudden. It's only showing one person at a time. I'm going to remove all of y'all from the stage real quick, and then I'm going to put you back in there. All right, so now it's me. Let me add Sean to the stage. Let's see. What just happened to my layout? Sean, as we're going, hold on, y'all. Don't touch it, okay? I've got to figure out why it's not doing a big layout. Sean, what's going on? Tell us who invited you to the Super Patch movement. How has it been for you thus far?
Listen, Nina Rochelle Moore, excuse my dog, y'all.
When did you get a darn dog?
Listen, it's a whole. We'll talk about it when you come. But listen,
okay.
Nina Rochelle Moore invited me to Super Patch, and listen, I always say, you know, this was the best thing that could have happened, but this right here, like, I was texting some of my teammates yesterday. I've never seen nothing like this.
Nope.
Since I've been a part of the industry, I've honestly, and you know, I like to make money. I love products.
Right.
Listen, I'm a product boy.
Mm-hmm.
But this right here, I'm sorry, the world needs to know. Like I've never seen nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the patches, and even for myself personally, like for me to feel this good.
Right.
And Nina and some people know, like, you know, you guys, you've seen me, like, you know, Rosa, y'all see me at events like in pain.
Yes. Yes.
And for me to just have this joy and to just be happy every day, to wake up, you know, to get out the bed and don't have to be in pain, you know, to go out throughout my day and not be in pain. It's a blessing. This is truly a blessing.
I love it. Alicia, you're here too. Turn your phone sideways. You're pretty far back from us. Okay, now we
That
can
better?
see. It is. How'd you get started with the super patch? What's your testimony?
Of course, Mrs. Mora. Originally, I was like just joining it because I was following her, but then I had my experience. I was dealing with some menopausal things that time, you know, change of life. And I was in a very dark place. And Mrs. Mora sent me like all the patches, like try these patches. And I put them on, and I'm telling you, in about 3 weeks, I mean, it happened right away, but in about 3 weeks, I noticed the overall change. And I'm telling you, I've not been the same. And when I began to do the research, I found out that there's so many people in the world that is dealing with the, you know, the change of life, where people are, you know, I don't want to use the D word, but you know, you just mentally exhausted and going through those changes. And the patches, the joy, the peace, the focus just got me back on track, and my quality of life has upgraded since then. And I'm just excited about what they're doing, what I'm seeing them do.
Straighten it. Don't cry. Come walk back this way. Like, serious. Don't cry. Don't cry. Oh, you back in the chair, man, for me.
Watch this.
I ain't got your face on here, but girl. I couldn't do none of this. Oh, look at that. Go. I couldn't do none of this. I'm glad you came. Oh my goodness. Don't cry. You gonna make me cry. You welcome, love. Look at you. Like, for real. Like, this is the truth. So tell me about your pain. I don't have you on the camera, but tell me about your pain. I don't have your face on. What's your pain? Right now? Uh-huh. I ain't got no pain right now. Okay. And you couldn't even do that when you came here. You can't do that. Don't cry.
Let me ask you all a question. Okay. I mean, we're not talking about money, but how could you, most of y'all grew up in church just like me. How can you see something like that and not be totally convinced that it makes sense to share this? Like, when was your first patching experience where you saw tears coming down somebody's eyes? Rosin, I'm gonna start with you, and then let's go around the board and tell me how it made you feel.
I was about to tell you that you were going to have all of us on here crying because of what, just watching her. Mm-hmm. The lady who had when we did the Spirit Fest, mm-hmm. and the lady said some days she can't even get out of the bed. Mm-hmm. And mm-hmm. it was like, she said they've been trying to talk her into doing a surgery, and not just doing a surgery, but she said they can't even guarantee me that after I have the surgery, yes, I'll be able to walk right again. Mm-hmm. And just, I mean, this lady was just boo-hooing. And it's just, I think what happens when you are in the presence of somebody, they're having a life-altering moment. And it's hard not to even
let's sit there for a second, because we're on social media, but I don't think it's transferring to people. I got that visualization the other day. I'm like, wait a minute. This pack is like surgery for some people. This, you not being selfish and putting this patch on someone is do you know how many people canceled their surgery appointments because somebody thought enough about them to put this darn patch on them? That's what this is. This is why we stayed away from the selling conversation, because it makes it more gimmicky when you start talking about the money. Let's talk about the transfer of what is happening for people when you put this darn patch on them. When you put it on them. Nina, what about you? Like, how do you feel every time you see or hear testimonies like that?
I'm still wrapping my head around how it even happened. Like, even though I'm seeing it all the time.
Yes.
In real time, because
Yes.
I catch so many people.
Right.
The moment that I put the patch on a person, I can see the difference.
That's right.
You can start to see their veins get stronger in their arms. You can see their posture shifts immediately. You can see like their like they see different, like their mind is like opening up. And so for me, it's almost like I think I'm more. There's so many people that I know needed this product before we found the product. And every time I patch somebody, I can't help but to think about all of the people that may still be here if we had had the patches.
Yes.
So that's what I think about every time I patch somebody.
Yes. I want to sit right there for 1 second, because that is the truth. The lady that signed up with us out of Chicago a few days ago as an ambassador, she said her mom was stuck in her bedroom for 20 years. She just passed away in December. That just came. And she said, the reason that I got started with this opportunity is because I wondered what would have happened if we had to patch my mom those 20 years that she was bedridden. You know, you guys are making some very powerful statements. And I don't, if you're seeing this and hearing this, how does it not transfer to you that this just makes sense to be a part of it and to do it? Alicia, what's the testimony that just took you over the edge to go, I can't even avoid being a part of this?
Right. This was really recent. I've had several testimonies, but this one I had last week with the young lady who was just 50 and had an episode in her with her what you call it. She had a response to her chemotherapy, and it caused her to be not able to walk since March. And to put the patch on her and watch her in the Target parking lot, literally almost take off the running, and then started jumping up and down and watching her kids saying, "Wow, mommy, wow." You know, that was like, it was like the miracles in the Bible days. It's like, how can you not be convinced once you've seen it? How can you not be transformed? And that's exactly what has given me the drive to just keep pushing and to keep patching and to keep posting and to keep telling people and calling people and tell them you need this patch, you know. So yeah.
So again, you guys are making such powerful statements. Said her body had a negative response to her chemotherapy. And you know, one of the popular questions that I'm getting from people is the results that people have had since they got the shot back in 2020. I'm not going to say the name. Their body is not responding well to it. But I still think like this product is so powerful that the testimonies that people are saying, because it's so cheap, like to have access to it, like you literally just said, someone had chemotherapy, their body did not respond properly to it. She's been having problems walking. You met the lady in the parking lot, put a patch on her, and basically saw her about to start taking off running.
Literally.
How for $60?
For $60, literally.
For all the ambassadors, what I'm trying to get you guys to get the ambassadors to understand, do you not understand what's in your hands? You know, there's a poem. And you guys ever heard the poem, "It depends on whose hands it's in"? Have y'all ever heard the
Yes.
poem?
Mhm.
When they say a basketball in your hand ain't worth nothing about $16, but a basketball in Michael Jordan's hand is worth a few billion. A golf club in your hands is probably only
Wow.
worth $45, but a golf club in Tiger Woods' hand is worth a few $1 billion. That is what we're on with these patches too. It's if you are getting the transfer of how many people's lives you can change by taking a darn sticker out and putting it on people. Jonathan, what was the testimony for you where you were like, I know you got several too, where you were just like, I think I'm doing God's work?
That's exactly right. And that's the one thing that I want to make mention real quick is we're not in the convincing game. We're in the conviction game, because the conviction that has been put on our hearts to serve others with
Yes.
something that is truly making an impact, giving people back their quality of life. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, you say $60, Tanisha, but it is priceless, because the lady in Target now has hope again, has conviction, and has a peace of mind knowing that there is something that could give her the quality of life that she deserves, that her kids are seeing she deserves, that her kids need their mom to have to be able to live the life that she is called to live. And guess what happens? Just like the good news and just like the good message and why we're here. Because when she has that experience, when she had that experience, what do you think is going to happen? She's going to go and share and tell it on the top of a mountaintop. And that conviction, not convincing, because we're not in the convincing game. We used to be when we sold potions, lotions, pills, and shakes, right? If you just give it 3 days, 7 days, you might lose some weight, you might see some benefits. Now, within 5 seconds, I can show you the power of conviction of what your life can be like if you decide and you make a decision today that you are worth that conviction, that you are worth that change. And so for me, the testimony, another one that brought me to tears, that absolutely left me speechless, was this young gentleman was in a car accident when he was young. He had been going to physical therapy, hear me out, for 8 years. Physical therapy for 8 years. He could not sit up unassisted longer than 30 seconds by himself in a bed, in a chair, anything. He could not bend his left leg because of the trauma that happened in that car accident past 10 degrees. Okay? He was patched. He went to physical therapy, and for the first time in 8 years, he was able to bend his left leg 90 degrees. He was able to sit up unassisted for longer than 90 seconds. Every single physical therapist in that place was crying because what they had been trying to get him to do for 8 years, not even thinking about the cost, the insurance, and everything that the family has gone through in order to get him to be just a little bit more mobile, to have a little bit better of a quality of life. So I get a voice bite explaining with the video of what just took place. And the conviction that came through that voice bite, I said, you know what? It doesn't matter if I don't make another dollar helping and sharing this. That right there is exactly why I'm here. Because people in today's society are so trained from a microwave standpoint. They want it now. We're trained that it has to have something in it. It has to have ingredients. It has to have chemicals. It has to have something. So we're on a mission and vision to share with people that there's nothing in this, that there's no chemicals, that there's no ingredients. And the conviction that we have about these incredible patches right here, you won't get us to shut up. I promise you. We will never shut up and stop sharing about these incredible patches.
I love that word conviction versus convincing, because I've patched people and they're so used to people selling things to them where they were in a walker or a wheelchair. I patched them, they put their walker to the side, they get out their wheelchair, and then after you patch them, they're staring there looking at you waiting for the sale. I don't have nothing else to say. If what you just saw did not convince, I don't have anything else to say. And so that's the power of our 1,000 ambassadors that we're taking on for the month of October, guys, because we need ambassadors. We need disciples for this movement so we can spread it fast. And so, we're representing, we're in Houston, we're in Greensville, we're in Atlanta, we are in Austin, Texas. Jonathan's basically in Dallas. Sean is in Philly. Tamara is in basically Grand Rapids or around the Detroit area. Kim is out in California. So this this thing is spreading real fast. Sean, what about you? What was that one testimony where you were like, I got to do it?
So for me, it's a few of them, but when I seen the gentleman, Janet Reese's father, get out of a wheelchair.
Yeah, I saw that testimony.
I'm sorry, y'all. Where do we see that at? That's what we call miracle working power.
Let's sit right there for a second. Where do you see the last time I saw it was at Benny Hinn Crusades.
Basically.
That's where I saw it.
Now, can I say this? Now, for me, it really it's a hard spot because last year my mother had passed. She passed in September. This is the crazy thing. In June of last year, she had stopped walking and her focus was off. So when I think about the fact that we have a focus patch and a Liberty patch that I could have probably put on her. Because she couldn't get out the bed. Her mind wouldn't let her walk. The brain couldn't. Yep. So me putting that focus patch on her, or even the Liberty patch, even the peace, could have maybe she could have been here a little longer.
Oh man. Yeah.
We tried everything. That's the thing. We tried everything. And the medications and nothing was working. The therapist, nothing could help her walk or even think.
I like that what you say too, that her mind wouldn't let her walk, because once that body starts getting crippled, it's a mental thing you're fighting against as well, where your body is so used to being disabled. It's a whole, and I tell people, like, the reason people go to physical therapy, like when an athlete injures themselves, the reason you go to physical therapy is that they're trying to retrain your brain to move those muscles properly. So healing definitely starts in the mind. And that's why I love these patches so much, because it goes with, so, they say the reason why the pastor lays their hand on the front of the head, people don't know this, is because you're touching your mind first. So when the laying of hands, that's where that comes from, because they're touching the mind first for the healing. And so when we take that patch and we're applying it on people's skin, guys, you lay hands on people. You might not be print. My mom called me the other day. She go, you need to tell God to continue to bless your hands, that every single time that you put this patch on someone, that it works, and that it works for the reason that you want it on them. And I told someone, because you get a lot of people say, well, it's a scam. If you have a good heart, like I know I have a good heart, God could come down and strike me dead if I didn't genuinely care about people. I want the patch to work for people more than they do. I want it to work for you more than you do. So when people say it's a scam, you just haven't dealt. People are not used to people with integrity or honest people. I want the patch to work for you. Dr. Tamara, you are here. What was the testimony that just took you over the edge, where you was like, I have to, and you're echoing. I don't know if you got
I'm in the car. Hold on.
Okay. Tell us the testimony that took you over the edge.
Am I still is it echoing?
No.
Okay. Hi everybody. Yeah, so I have a couple. So one, I was doing a vendor event downtown, and this lady actually sent me a message the day before about patches. I don't know who she is, but I told her to meet me downtown and we'll get her patch and do her stability test and all that. So when she came downtown, she was actually telling me her story. So she's 30-something years old. She's had 2 strokes, and one of her arms, is limited mobility, right? But her hand, she's not able to like do this, like how we can do this.
Right.
She goes at it like very slowly, because her mind is still trying to think, like, what is she trying to do?
Yep.
And then her, like, when she goes to hold like a water bottle, like she can grab it, but her brain doesn't allow her to know that she still has it. So everything like falls out of her hand.
Oh, wow.
So after we did her stability test, I had on Victory, Liberty, Defend on her. And about 2 minutes after I got her talking and blah, 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 I said, now move your hand again. And then she did just like this. There was no thinking about it. She just did just like this. So then she said, well, give me that water bottle over there. So she got the water bottle. She was able to hold it, open the top, drink out of it, everything. She said, I haven't been able to do this in 2 years.
Wow. So powerful.
2
So
years.
what we're experiencing then when someone is putting this patch on somebody, you're basically giving them 2-3 years of physical therapy in an instant. See, like once people really understand, if you've never been injured before, you don't understand what physical therapy is like. People spend the rest of their lives going back to physical therapy. So what I try to tell people is this package represents the chance of someone having to avoid surgery. My mom's friend literally had back surgery. Some infection got into her spine. They were about to put her in hospice because she couldn't walk and her whole entire body was declining. We put her on a patch at the prayer breakfast. The lady sends me her x-rays to say it is no way physically possible that she should be able to walk. And when you see stuff like that, it's just like, how could I not just tell people about this? I don't even care if you buy it or not. I just want you to know what we have available. Kim, what was the testimony that took you over the edge?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
You know, there are so many, Stanicia, so many. I came in it blindly. I just trusted you. You said, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what I heard about it. And I've seen so many testimonies and videos that has just impacted me to know. When I got the product for me, I immediately, of course, went and started sharing it on my direct family.
Mhm.
The first thing I think for me was dealing with a child who has ADHD. She also is on the spectrum. She also has ODD, and she may be considered what they consider bipolar. We're not claiming it. But I took the chance. We have her on medications. The medications takes the edge off, but it wasn't doing enough. And I didn't want to go to psychotic medication. That's just so many side effects. And so we tried the Kick It patch is what she used. She used the Peace patch and she used the Focus patch. She has a therapist that goes out to her school now because I decided to put her back in public school this year. I took her out last year because it was so bad I had to homeschool her. Her therapist and all said, let's put her back in school. She needs the social aspect. I could care less about social. I needed her to stay focused and get through school. So we did it. This time around, though, they are noticing that she is more focused than she's ever been, even with the medication she's taking. And we went a week without the patches. And I wanted to see, while I was waiting for them to come in, how she would do. Behavior started right back up. Patches went by on the therapist, her TBS worker. Everybody said something's different. Whatever's going on, keep doing it. It was those 3 patches. So that made me a believer. But you know, out of all the testimonies that I see, one that I figure that a lot of times we overlook is ourselves. And because of everything that has been on my plate with this child who has so many challenges, and it's hard as a parent dealing with that. It's hard. And so I started being depleted. I was finding myself that I was not taking care of myself, and I was now moving into clinical depression. And it wasn't until I started using the patches consistently. So I'm using Joy, I use Peace, I use my Liberty every single day because it kind of encompasses all that for me. And that is what's pulling me back out and getting more focused and loving life. But a lot of times people don't see that because they keep the smile behind them. There's something else going on. So I know for me, my biggest testimony is me.
Wow. That's powerful. Man, guys, I mean, and we could keep sharing these testimonies over and over again. We coming to the top of the hour. I want you guys to leave the people with why you think that they should join in on this ambassador movement and why they should try the patches if they have issues themselves. We're gonna start with Rosalind, then Nina, Alicia, and go across the screen. Go ahead, Rosalind. You're muted.
Here's the thing. We've been living in a world that has trained us to think that there's only one way for feeling better, healing, which is fake healing, and getting better. Now that we have found out that that was a lie, we have to train our minds and say, wait a minute, let me rethink this thing. Let me really take a look into this thing. And this is what I want to say. You don't have to understand how the technology works.
Right.
You don't. We don't understand why all of the medication that the doctor gives us causes so much damage. We just take it. Try the patch. If it doesn't work for you, okay. But if it does work for you, that's not just a game changer, it's a life changer.
Wow, that's amazing. Nina, you.
I want to say this before I tell you why you need to join. You know, you talked about physical therapy. I patched a young woman on Sunday. She bought $250 worth of patches. Her results were so magnificent. She ended up joining. I drove out an hour to meet her yesterday at a $6.99 pack. She said, my physical therapy ran out. They won't give me more physical therapy because she was in a really bad, she's in a thing that I can't even talk about right now.
Right.
But it was so bad, it exhausted her insurance. So she needed something.
That's right.
Because
that's right.
Nothing was working. And
That's
the doctors told her, there's nothing else we could do for you. So why should you join? I'm going to ask you, why wouldn't you? You know, and I'm going to say this because we don't talk about the money. But let's talk about the fact that this is now an opportunity for you to be in front of something finally. Like for real, when I think about all of the opportunities that I missed, like crypto and Bitcoin, and when I bought some and then didn't believe in it and I sold it all. You know, I am thinking like I finally now have an opportunity to do everything I've ever wanted to do. And that is help people, make money, have fun, travel, have time freedom. And I can do all of those things because of this little patch.
Right.
That is the reason why you need to do it now, because you don't want to now wait. You know, I don't like it, and especially for us ethnic people, when we say things like, well, let me just see what they do first. Why would you do that? That doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
And why should you do this? Because this is the only thing that makes sense right now.
Come on, girl. The only thing that makes sense right now. Alicia, what about you?
You know, I see so many people in this day and time that's looking for their purpose, trying to seek out their calling
That's
and
right,
all
that's
these
right.
things, right? And when I think about the super patch, I really believe that this is a calling. I've heard people say it, but Nina said it a lot, but I was thinking this morning when I woke up about 5, I'm in this prayer group and we were praying entrepreneur prayer. And I thought about this while the lady was talking. We are really, this is really ministry. It is really ministry. And so many people are saying, what is my purpose? Until you find out that exact thing, why don't you do these patches? You're going to help a lot of people, and money is just a byproduct.
Jonathan, what you got for us?
I'm a numbers person, just like you, just like a lot of us. And so the reason why you need to be a part of what we're doing is real simple. Let's look at the numbers. This is a $500 billion market opportunity. Globally, $4.2 trillion market opportunity. Over 6 billion people have issues with sleep alone, let alone pain, weight loss, mental focus and clarity, stress, anxiety, things of that nature. So this is what I want to say. The reason why you need to be here is for these stats. Number one, globally protected intellectual property in 186 countries.
Come on.
Nobody's doing what we're doing. Nobody will ever have what we have. Number two, instant impact product. The days of convincing people to try it for 2 or 3 days are over. Within 5 seconds, that's it. Game over. Number three, it costs less than $2 a day for you to have dignity, to have your life back, to have a better quality of life. And more importantly, once that happens, you feel convicted to share it with other people, because it's just like the good news or a good restaurant. That's it. You naturally want to share it with other people. Number five is this, FDA registered. That's right. We have clinical studies and trials backing the efficacy of these patches and what they do and what they provide. Number 6, and last but not least, is the same patch that Sanisha's wearing, Rosalind's wearing, Nina's wearing, Alicia's wearing, Sean's wearing, Dr. Dunn's wearing, and Kimberly's wearing is the same patch that I can put on my 12-year-old son or on my grandbaby. If you did not catch that, let me say it one more time. The same patches that we have on that are helping us are the same patch that you can put on your children or your grandchildren. Nowhere else can say that except for here at Super Patch. So before the boat misses you, you might want to grab an oar and jump on board.
I love it. Sean, over to you.
Hey, real quick, just 2 things. The first thing is I had double hip replacement surgery due to a side effect from a medication. And that's it. It's nothing else for me to say. I had double hip replacement surgery because of a side effect from a medication that I was on. Here's the thing, back in 2018. That wasn't diagnosed until 2022. So here I am now in 2025, introduced to a patch.
Come on.
And I don't have to take any medication for it. So do you want to take medication or don't you don't? Second thing, I got in my pocket right here. Somebody passed this to me at work. Y'all see my name on it, right? There's money in here. You know why?
Why?
Because people want the patches.
And that's it. That's all.
I just got this just today, leaving work, the envelope with the money in it, because guess what? People want the patches.
I love it. That's the offering envelope, okay? Tamara, what you got for us?
So a couple years ago, my grandmother, which was then 90 years old, had a horrible fall. Like she fractured the side of her whole face, and she had to have a couple surgeries. And just think what could have happened. Like that outcome did not have to go as well. Like she's doing great right now, but like we were nervous. She's 90 years old. She's had the fractured face, going into surgeries. That didn't have to end the way that it did. And now I have the opportunity to help other seasoned saints not have that situation, right? But then on the other hand, my son, who's 11, in middle school, can't focus. He can't pay attention. He was not doing well in school. And then as of this year, when we have the patches, he wears Peace and Focus every day, and he has all A's. So to the extent of what Mr. Jonathan was saying, the super patch is generational, right?
It sure is.
The kids are going to be wearing them now. They're going to grow up and have different needs when they get adults. But as adults, they're going to give their kids the patches, right?
That's right.
So therefore, you're never going to run out of customers. Never. Never. Wow. That is the income that is sustainable. That's a company that's going to be around forever. So why not get in the front of that and get in position right now?
I love it. I love it. Generational for sure. Kim, over to you.
Wow, for me, I think it would be that if you are what you consider a disciple of spreading the good news,
come on,
falls into line. What did Jesus come for?
Come on,
our salvation, abundance, and healing. And let me tell you, these patches coming from the medical field most of my life, we know medication is good. Don't get me wrong. It can help people, but there are so many side effects to using synthetic prescription medication that are created in labs. There are side effects. Your body is not used to it. So the moment it gets into the body and your system, it's like danger. It may work, but it's causing something else to work harder, which is your liver and kidney, because it needs to get it out because it's synthetic. So you wonder why you take one thing, but now you have side effects for others. Here is an opportunity presented before many to say that we now have an option for you to create a healthier version of yourself without no ingredients, no side effects.
Come on.
At any age can use this product. And guess what? You're not in one lane of healing anybody or helping people change their lives like we have done for so many of us in weight loss and all. We have every lane. You would be crazy to just keep swiping by and thinking that this is just something
That's gonna go away.
that's passing. It's not. It's
I love
powerful.
it. I love it. Well, listen, it's been so fun hanging out with you guys. We 9 minutes over the hour, but that's okay because someone's going to run into this video whose life is going to completely change, guys. We are on our mission to patch 1 million people. I don't know whose page you're watching this from, but whoever's page you're watching it from, send them a message, get locked into the system, guys. We're on a mission to change the world. I'm so happy and grateful that we have patched 1 million people. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I'll talk to all you guys later. Bye-bye.